And the thing is that when, I just think to myself, when I get offended by something someone did to me and I allow it to just fester in my heart and fester in my mind, the truth is it's actually doing nothing to the person who offended me.
Right. Exactly.
They're like going about their life.
Right.
Like if we actually just stop to think for a second that we're actually giving power to something that isn't even bothering the person, because a lot of times I think if you just stop to think about minor offenses, these daily things that actually sometimes seem to grab a hold of us and become much bigger than they ever needed to be, a lot of times it's unintentional. The person might not even have known that they've done it, but in our mind, and that's coming from somebody who might, I'm saying that because I think that I might often offend somebody with something I say, but it's unknowing. I don't know that I did it. And if they would just say, did you mean that? We could talk about it, we could move on and it would be over. But instead, we fester on it and we think about it and we make it bigger, and then we put intention to it that was never even meant. Meanwhile, it's like taking over our thought life. Then we're talking about it to our spouse or our kids, and it's taking over them. Then they're offended on behalf of us at something that they weren't even involved in. Meanwhile, it's absolutely having such a power over our lives, and it's destructive to us when it's not doing anything to the person that actually offended us.
Right. And I think there's a verse in Proverbs 17 that says, overlook an offense and bond a friendship. Fasten onto a slight and goodbye, friend.
Yeah. That's a goodbye, friend.
And I think we as friends have lived this out, because we're very similar in some ways, but we're very different in other ways. And there's been times when I'll be the one to fester and you're the one that moves on. And I'm like, girl, I'm not ready to move on. And you're like, I moved on last week. Like, you're still thinking about it. And one of the things that we've committed to in our friendship is when there is the probability of an offense or the feeling of offense, that we actually go, you know what? I know your heart. You know my heart. And just like Proverbs, you overlook it. You forgive it. You're like, she was tired. She was grumpy. There's a lot going on. Rather than, what do you really mean? Because sometimes it's just we're tired, or life's busy, and the ability to overlook it has bonded our friendship in seasons where I think other friendships would have fastened onto that and wouldn't have a friendship anymore.
And they wouldn't actually survive it.